what we are going to do as part of this lab is we are going to replace our hard coded URL with a target server. Okay. So that when we are calling the backend, we don't have to hard code the URL. We'll pick the server details, port number, and all those things from Apigee. Okay.
Okay.
And we will call it. Okay.
Mm.
So, yeah. So for that, we go to on the left side, go to admin,
It's okay.
environments, and
Mm.
target servers. Admin, environment, target servers. Okay.
Servers. Okay. And there.
Now here there is a drop down, the environment drop down you see on this thing.
Prod. Is it prod dev? Okay.
Yeah. In the drop
Shall I?
down, select dev because this is the lowest environment and our code is in the dev environment, right? So
Got it.
when you do
Yes.
development, first you do the dev environment and then you slowly proceed. Okay.
Yeah.
So now in the dev environment, there is a option plus target server. You see on the top right.
Yeah.
You click on that. There is a browse. It will open a pop up. It will open a
Right.
window. Correct. Now
Yeah.
first in the target server, this enabled make it as true. On the top there is enabled checkbox.
Mm.
Set enabled as true. Okay.
Mm.
And then you have to fill other names. So those names will be in the lab page. When you open the lab page on the browser, open the tab of the lab page. Okay. Open the lab page here and
Okay.
scroll down below
Mm.
the screenshot. If you scroll down below the screenshots, go down, 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 down. Yeah, you see
Yeah.
below this box, you see the name. So copy
TS.
the name, TS retail. After that, you have to add your training ID because again, name has to be unique. Okay, so that's the thing.
Sure. Sure.
So, uh, so it will be TS dash retail, then dash your training ID. So I'm adding TS retail 101. Like you can see here, TS dash retail dash 101. So you have to use 102. Okay. So that name has to be unique so that it is otherwise it will be duplicate. So it will not allow.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
So let me know when you add the name
Yeah. Name done.
and the host name. Again, go back. You can copy the host name from here.
Yeah.
So the
Okay.
host is GCP training. Make sure when you copy there is no space or something. Okay. So when you're copying, no space or nothing. So just make sure that you are copying the correct one for
Okay.
or .NET. So here when I copied here there is no nothing on the right, nothing on the left. Okay. So just make sure you copy
Okay.
exact, no
Mm.
space or anything.
Right.
Okay. So that is the host name. Port number will be, see, by default HTTPS port is 443. 443 is the default port for HTTPS. Okay.
Right.
So 443. When you click 443, when you type 443, this automatically SSL is checked because it is
Check.
TLS. Okay.
Right.
Because 443 is the default port for HTTPS. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And after that, you don't have to do anything. Let it be as it is. Okay. This will be
Okay.
checked. SSL is checked. That is fine. And you don't have to do anything else and click on this add button. Okay. So when you click, you will see this your targets over here, correct? In the
Yes.
list.
Yeah.
Let me refresh it just to see your. I'm just refreshing it, so I should be able to see yours also. And yes, so once we add the configuration, so now we have created the configuration. Step number 2 will be to add this configuration in our proxy. So only creating this will not be enough, right? We have to refer this, make a reference of this in the proxy, right? So proxy has to use this name, correct? So now
Right.
go to develop and proxies.
API proxies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then in there, when it is all loading, once it is loaded, click on your proxy name. So I'm just clicking on mine with retail.
We are in prod, right? It should be in dev. We are in prod environment.
Where?
Proxies.
No, that
It,
doesn't matter.
it doesn't
Anyway,
matter. Okay.
yeah, that doesn't matter because proxy is created on the org level. So here
Okay.
the proxy selection will be deployed from here. There is a this check. This will determine where you deploy the proxy, right? There is a deployment
Okay.
button.
Okay.
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 So yeah, that will not matter. So when you go inside, you will see this proxy here. Okay. So now, whenever we make a code change in the proxy, okay, as a safety, we always save as a new revision so that when we do an if in case we do something wrong or whatever, we can revert. Okay.
Okay.
So now go to project. Okay. Before making a change, go to project, save
Mm-hmm.
as new revision. It is first option, correct? Project, save as new revision.
Mm-hmm.
So now it will be revision 2. You see there is a new revision 2 will be there, correct?
Right.
So now in the revision 2, and you can see revision 1 is deployed. So by the time we continue to make our change in revision 2, okay,
Mm-hmm.
revision 1 will continue to serve the traffic. So it will not
Okay.
do anything, right? Client will continue to make the call. It will do it only when we deploy revision 2, then only uh, the latest code will serve the request. Okay. So for now
Okay.
we have to make the change. So we can continue to make the change. So now on the right side, there is a develop tab. Click on develop.
Develop. Mm-hmm.
So when you click on develop, this XML editor and all this will be there, correct? Apigee XML, the code editor.
Yeah.
Now in the develop, so we have to add the target server. So go
Mm.
to on the target endpoint. Okay. On the
Mm.
left side, bottom left, you see target endpoint. Okay.
Yeah.
Of the and then click on preflow there. Below target endpoint, click on preflow.
Okay.
So anywhere, basically preflow also doesn't matter because this like it will open this XML. You see the target XML now. So you
Yeah.
see 10 points XML. Now in that XML, so right now we don't have anything, so that is why it is a very small XML, correct? So now
Mm.
here in the XML, we have to replace the URL. So this URL we have to replace, okay? So first thing, you delete this line number 13, select and delete.
Whole line number 13.
Correct, we don't need URL, so URL will just remove. Just delete line number 13, okay?
Okay. Okay.
And then it will be replaced by there is a 4 line of XML. Go down, if you scroll down below this on the go to the lab page. In the lab page, if you scroll down, okay, uh, here below this there is a 4 lines of XML. You see load balancer and
Load
path.
balancer, server name, TS retail. Yeah.
Correct. So copy these 4 lines. Copy these 4 lines. Copy that,
Okay.
and then paste it on line 13. Just paste it in line number 13. Paste it, so it will
Okay.
automatically. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So let me know once you paste it in line
Yeah.
13.
Pasted. Done.
After that, in line number 14, update the name. So you see the name is TS Retail, correct? You have to add your training ID here because
One
TS
zero.
Retail doesn't exist, right? So you have to update our target server name. Okay.
Okay.
So you see that the host name protocol, those part will be picked from the target server configuration, and the base path will be from the path part, right? In the path tag, you see the base path of the target, right? So slash
Mm.
training slash DB is being picked from here. Okay. Usually what happens on the different backend environment, only host name and all will change, correct? Base path that will not change or anything, correct? Most likely a host or port might change, but base path and all that will not change. Okay.
Okay.
So then, yeah, so once you so you updated that.
Server name.
Yes, in the name you updated, your added your hyphen,
One zero.
your.
Yeah.
So after you add that, okay, after that there is a save button. After
Yeah.
once you add this, there is a save button which will be enabled. If you
Okay.
don't make any change, the save button was previously disabled. Now it is enabled. So click
Okay.
on save. So first click on save. So revision 2 will be saved. So whatever
Mm.
changes we did, those changes are saved. And then go to deployments here, deployment button. Okay,
Mm.
and deploy on dev. Here you click on this dev, it will deploy. So it will ask you to deploy. Okay,
Mm.
will give question, are you sure you want to deploy? Or on environment dev, you click here deploy. So Apigee will deploy. Okay,
Done.
so let me know once it is deployed.
Mm. 1 second. I think it is deployed. Yeah.
Okay, you can verify here, just we close the deployment button. Now it will green, correct? Dev is green, means it is deployed. Revision 2 is deployed. Okay, so previously it was not. Now you can see this is a green button, correct? Do you see green button when you click on deployment?
Deployment. Yeah. Dev is green. Yeah.
Yeah, so means revision 2 is deployed. Also,
Okay.
you can see there is one more place in the bottom left, you bottom left side, you see this deployed to dev. So
Deployed
means,
to dev. Right.
yeah, so that message also will be visible. So that if you want to verify if this revision is deployed or not, This also you can check. It is deployed to dev, it will return. Okay. So that is
Okay.
so yeah, that is this thing. So it is deployed. Now what we have to do is go and start the trace. Go to trace. Okay. In the trace, make sure this automatically compare is unchecked. Last time you remember, for me it is unchecked, so I'm good. I don't have to uncheck it. From your side, just verify this automatically compare should be unchecked. Okay.
Yeah, I unchecked it.
Then click on start button. So here the start, let the trace be
Thanks.
start.
Yeah, done.
Now open a new tab on the browser. Open a new tab.
Okay.
In the new tab, you type the word categories. So in the history, the previous call will come. Cate- the If you type categories, you see this one, right? In the old whatever we tried last time, get
Yeah,
category one that will come. So you type and it will come. Then select it. So you can verify here. Okay,
yeah.
you are getting the JSON now,
Yes.
and just again refresh it couple of times. Just reload the page. So just as this thing. So you try a couple of times more. So it is same. So after verifying, come back to APG tab, this APG proxy tab. Okay,
Okay.
the APG tab. Let me know once you are here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Now I'm just selecting the first one. I can see there are three. So you can select the first one, number one. Here
Mhm.
in the transaction map now, first one will not change. Whatever we saw last time, the same thing. Lot of headers, lot of properties, everything.
Mhm.
Important will be this one. You see the second circle, request sent to target server, correct?
Right,
So
right.
this, where we updated our code here, correct? In the target server section, correct? So the target server. So you click on this second circle. When you click on the second circle, okay, and you scroll up here, okay, just to scroll up in the phase details, you see you will verify here automatically. APG has replaced, correct? APG is able to pick it from the target server, and APG is able to replace it. Here you can see, right?
Okay.
Right. So this part APG picked from target server, because we know in right now we replace the URL, correct? We don't have the hard coded URL. We provided target server name, correct? So APG
So
was able to,
we named the target server as some 102, right? I did
correct.
102 and you did 101, but we see different name here.
Yeah, because this is the host name. It is able to pick the whatever
Ah,
host you provided, correct?
okay,
Target
got it.
name is the name. Actual value is the host name and what the protocol
So
that
this
we
is a host name. Okay, got it.
use, right? So that is the one. The name is something that we give for our reference. Now the thing is that the same name can be used in multiple environments, because now in dev environment, this name will point to the dev host name, dev backend host name, okay? And then test environment, it will be test backend host name, production will be production backend host name, right? So that is
Right.
the ID. Okay. So now
Hmm.
you can stop trace, and just to verify the, I mean, just to be this thing, you can again go to admin environment and target servers. Go back here on the
Okay.
left side, go back to admin environment target servers.
Hmm.
Here select environment as prod. Now this time select prod.
Hmm.
Let me know once you select here
Yeah, it is prod.
prod, right? So now in the environment is prod. Again create the same target server name, okay? And
Okay.
uh, go here, click on plus target server. Enabled
Okay.
will be checked. Enabled should be checked. Okay.
Hmm.
Same name, TS retail whatever, TS dash retail dash your name. If you are able to, are you able to find it, or
Yeah, I find it.
yeah,
TS
I mean,
hyphen retail.
first, yeah, TS dash retail dash 101. And now host name will be changed because we are in production. So production host name will be different. If you go to
Okay.
the bottom here, if you go to bottom, this is the production host name. If you go to bottom, this is the production host name. GCP CS, same thing. So now copy this production backend host name. Okay. So host will be production backend, and
One
port will,
second. Let me find that.
yeah, yeah. Go
Yeah,
to
yeah.
bottom. To bottom,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
will, yeah.
Got it.
And then port will be same 443 port. Okay. And then after typing 443, just click on add button. That's it. So now when your code will be deployed to production in future, okay, this
Hmm.
this target server name remains same, correct? So in your APG code, you are only giving name, correct? But
Yeah.
in dev environment, it is pointing to that uh, different backend, and production it is pointing to different backend, right? So that is what you want to avoid having different manually going and updating the target server host name in the code, correct? So that is the benefit. So we have moved it away from code and moved it to a configuration. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah. So yeah, that completes our lab number 2 and also completes chapter number 3. Okay.
Okay.
So now there are two supplemental labs. If you remember, there are two A, two B. So when you get time, please do these things. Lab 2A in the same, right? Supplemental lab 02A, supplemental lab 02B. Okay. So that when you get time, you can try to do it on your own by following these things. Okay.
2A and 2B.
Yes. 2A route rule, 2B trace
Okay.
tool. Okay.
Got it. Okay.
Now we move to chapter number 4. So we are done with 3 chapters now. In chapter number 4, which is API product. So concept of product, developer, app, and API keys. Okay. By the way, tomorrow I have a deployment. So tomorrow again might join a bit late. Okay. And
Okay.
we might have perhaps a shorter session tomorrow because I have to do this thing. But
Yeah, yeah.
meanwhile, so now, so we are going to cover the concept of API product, developer apps, and API keys. Okay, when we publish an API, okay, so when we make an API available for consumption, okay, then what we have to do is uh, for any API, what APG allows us is APG allows us to do a grouping, okay, for
Okay.
the customer requirement. So we call it an API product. Okay. So basically API product is basically a package. Okay. Package of the API which you are going to publish for consumption to consumer. Okay. So whenever a developer comes, when I say developer, I mean front end developer or mobile developer who want to consume the APIs. So when a developer comes, the developer is not going to see the API, developer will see the API product. Okay. And that is
Okay.
what developer will subscribe to. So when developer is going to register his application, okay, he will be subscribed to API product. Internally, you can do the grouping based on your requirements. So what sometimes you can have single proxy in a product, you can have multiple proxy in one product, or you can even have a uh, few resources of proxy 1, few resources of proxy 2 in the product. It is completely driven by the business requirement. Okay.
Okay.
Because the APIs, when we are creating product, so when we are creating product, the APIs are generally grouped together with the app developer, okay, and the requirement in the mind, okay, and that is a good way to control the access. So only the APIs which are part of the product, okay, only those APIs will be uh, accessible by the developer, okay. They cannot access any other. So that way you can control the access also, correct? So whatever the developer needs, only those APIs you put it there, so that they will not be able to make call to anything additional, right? So that way your access is secured and you are able to fulfill the requirement also, okay. So now multiple product and APG allows you to create multiple product for the same API. Okay. So only thing what you can do is you can have a different level of access. Sometime you will have all the full access. Sometime you can give like full access. Sometime you can only give get access, not the post like this. Okay. So depending on the requirement, sometime for internal user, for external users, you can create multiple product for the yeah, either one API or one set of APIs. Okay, APG allows you to do all these things. So it is completely driven by your business requirement. So basically, what exactly are we having in API product config? So in API product configuration, we have things like proxy and path. So which will tell you where you can give what proxy name, and inside the proxy, do you want to give any paths or not? So you can give that as well. Then in which environments you want to create the product for. Okay, so you can APG allows you to select all the environments which are there. And then key approval type. So basically it will determine when developer is subscribing. Okay, when developer is subscribing, so their API key, so Apg will generate API key and secret. So do you want their API key and secret to be automatically approved, or do you want an Apigee admin to approve it? So those kind of things you can do based on the requirement again. And you can also define the quota. What is the quota you are allowing? So anyone who is subscribed to that product, is that person going to have some time? If you want to give less access, you can, I mean, a less number of API call or more number of API call, that you can determine based on the requirement. Okay, so for example, if you are creating a product for external customer, third party, for them you can have less quota. And if you are creating the product for your internal application, which is your internal system, so for them you can have more quota. So those kind of things you can define. And apart from that, any other thing that you want to manually uh, provide, you can create a custom attributes. And anything else apart from this which you feel it based on the business requirement you want to do, you can give custom attribute. For one of my project, I was working for like Vodafone in there. Okay,
Mhm.
and Vodafone is like in 32 countries, right? So they have 32 countries, and sometime some APIs might be only be applicable for 3 countries, or slowly we will make it enable for multiple countries. So we might start with like Germany or UK and Spain or something. So that country code, which country codes for this product we want to publish, those things will be there in the custom attribute. So we will know that when the call is coming, when incoming mobile number belong to this country, then only you allow, otherwise you can block. So we were creating the product based on the, and we will have country code, so that we will know this API is published for these countries. Okay, so based on that, that is one example I remember from one of my projects. Okay, so anything else also based on the requirement you can define as a custom attribute. So the custom attributes gives you flexibility. Whatever you want to do, any other information, you can simply put it there. Okay. So the way the publishing of API works is, first you create proxy, correct? Then this proxy will be bundled inside a product. So product will, in product you specify the name of the proxy, the resources and all these things. Okay. And you create a product. That product will be visible on the portal. So usually the product is visible from the developer portal, okay, or API portal. Then the consumer will come, okay, the developer will come, developer will see the product on the portal. Developer will do a self registration, self service registration. They will fill out the form, register themselves. uh, that there's the same process which happens everywhere. Even if you want to use Facebook APIs, for example, correct, if you want to use Facebook APIs, you have to go to Facebook, will have a developer portal. Or even for Google APIs, you have to become a Google, register yourself as a developer for Google portal. And then they will give you, okay, these are the APIs and everything which you want. You will select it and you will subscribe. When you click on subscribe button or create button, so APG, the APG will generate you a key and secret. It is the same process. Even this is not just for APG, for any API program. This is the standard process. Okay, even Google APIs, Facebook APIs also the same process. So when you subscribe and you register the application, basically that, okay, I'm registering my application. So there it will give you a key and a secret for your application. Okay, and so this key will have access to the product, and internally basic it will have the access to your API. So whatever, uh, because this key is having access to the product, any API which is part of this product will be accessible by using this API key or consumer key. So we use the word consumer key, app key, API key. They have the same meaning. Okay,
Okay.
in APG, consumer key, API key, app key, client ID, all these four things have the same meaning. Okay.
Okay.
Now, so this developer, so for any app developer, what APG needs is, for any consumer or the app developer, APG only asks for these three information that is required. So name, email, and username. These three are the ones which APG requires. If you want to store any other information that you want to store, you have to create a custom attribute. So that's what. So only these three fields are there as part of APG by default. Any other information you want to, city, country, whatever, any any profile information, whatever if we are capturing, we have to put everything in the custom attribute. Okay. And so it will have the information about the consumer who is going to basically a developer, basically the consumer developer or the app developer, which will register the application, and the apps will be registered on the APG. So apps will be registered by the developers. So developer will have to fill out a form and register, provide a unique, not unique, but yeah, they can provide an app name, and they will select which API they want to consume. So they will select the products. Okay. And then after that, 2 3 other things, and then they can create the application. Okay. When the app is created or app is registered, APG will generate the API key and secret. Okay. That will be generated for this app, and that will become your app identifier. Okay. A unique key for that. And so this API key or consumer key, that is what it becomes a unique identifier of your application, which is registered by the consumer. Okay. And then usually APG has this verify API key policy, which is like the at least the basic minimum protection, so that if you want to identify who is calling your API, you have to provide your API key in the, usually consumer will send API key in the header. Okay. And then APG, you can read from the header and you can verify the key that okay, this key is a valid key, and any and for this API. And then it will automatically populate all the app related information, developer related information, everything. It will be populating in some variable. So it will set a lot of predefined variables. Those predefined variables, it will have all the information about the associated app, associated developer, product, everything. Okay. So that also these API keys can be revoked. So if there is something which is wrong with the API key, it has been either compromised, or someone is making too many API calls which is not supposed to make, or any other reason. Okay. These can be revoked. So that way, in case of any misuse of API key or anything, or any other scenario, you can protect. Okay.
Okay.
And in APG, API keys can have multiple product. Minimum one product is required. So APG has a minimum. You have to use one product because that is like your subscription, correct? So just for your subscription, you will you will create. I mean, you need minimum one product, and then APG allows you to have multiple products also. So usually from the portal, it is like it depends on, project to project, different project teams or different product teams. So some in some for some of the some API programs, they want to have one to one mapping, so they only have one these things. So usually on the portal, they will try to block it. APG doesn't allow, I mean, because APG allows multiple, APG will not block it. So usually I have seen in many of these things, some on the portal they have blocked it. So okay, so on the portal they will give a radio button, so you can only select one of them. So yeah. So this is the verify API key policy. Usually this API key will be sent by the consumer in the as a header. Okay. So here, for example, in the request header, it will come. Usually we apply this policy in the pre-flow. So verify API key policy is applied on the pre-flow. In the policy, you have to mention where you are going to read the API key. So for example, when in the request dot header dot API key. So APG will try to read a header, and name of the header will be API key. Okay, without any this thing. So the customer or the consumer who is making the call, consumer has to set this value, the API key header name API key and the value of the key. Okay. And then in APG it will validate. Once it is successfully verified, so APG will create lot of variables. So format of these variables will be like verify API key dot policy name and dot variable name. So here are some example. So for example, for developer variables, it will have verify API key dot this name of this, you can see the in the blue color, name will be the policy name. So verify API key dot vk verify key dot developer dot first name, developer dot last name, email, or custom attributes. Same for app. So similar things will be set for app and API product and product also. So all these things will be automatically set. You will be able to see that in the trace. Okay, when we will do the lab, next lab will be verify API key. At the time we will see this thing. Okay. Now just yeah, so here in before we go to the next topic or next thing, so here in terms of the configuration, so what happens is in the proxies and paths when we are giving the configuration here. So for example, Apigee allows I mean you can allow both. I mean you can provide both, either proxy or path. So if you are only giving proxy, okay, so let's say in first scenario you are only giving proxy. So if you are only giving proxy, then APG will allow any resource within the proxy. So any resource within the proxy, okay, that will be allowed. Now if you are not giving any proxy name, if you are only giving a path name, so in any proxy, okay, in any proxy, if this path comes, okay, so if this orders slash star star, that pattern path pattern comes in multiple proxy, 3 or 4. So all 3 or 4 of those proxies, I mean wherever this path is there, those paths will be accessible, okay, by this product. Now if you are giving both proxy and path, if you are giving proxy and path both, so inside this proxy APG will allow this path. So only inside this stores v1 proxy, if there is any path which is matching this pattern, APG will allow only that path. Okay, it will not allow anything else. Now if you are not giving anything, if you don't give proxy name or path name, then it becomes like a global product, means any anything is available, everything, basically everything is available, and that is a very very big security risk, right? So that's why we should never do this thing. So we should never leave both of them blank, okay, because it is very dangerous, right? It is like you are giving full access, so that could be very risky. So that's why you have to either usually either we provide this proxy or we do the proxy and path both. So 1 and 3, these are the most common scenarios, okay, when we are configuring a product. Okay, here are some other examples of the custom attributes. So for example, you can have access type, which is either internal external, that can be one custom attribute. Batch size, as in uh, how many items, if there is array, if you have someone is sending you array, in within the array how many items you are allowing, so you can give the batch size. Or you can have like a service plan, the free, premium, whatever, request per second. Usually that is done in the quota anyway. So, and do you want to delete allow delete operation or not, or yeah, some other things, anything based on the requirement you can define all these things, like max speed, low, medium, huh? So that's why. So whenever these custom attributes are also so there are some variables which for these custom attributes, those will be set when the verify API key policy is successful. So even all these custom attributes can be visible in the trace. There will be a pattern, as I told, right? The pattern, it will follow the pattern. Verify API key dot this thing name dot product dot something, the attribute name. So it will automatically set variable in that pattern. Okay, so then you can see that in the trace. And if you want to use any of those variable in later of policies, you just have to copy the name and put it in other policies. Okay, subsequent ones, so you can use it. Also now there is one thing. So if you are defining proxies and paths both, so remember this is little bit, I mean this is how APG works. So for example, if you have in the stores v1 proxy, okay, you have given proxy name store v1, and there is a path inside this proxy, you have a stores uh, slash star path, okay.
Mhm.
And in orders proxy you have two paths, one is customer star and order star. Now if you are giving these two proxy name and these three paths, APG will not understand, okay, that which path belong to which proxy. So what APG will do, APG will allow all the possible combination for each proxy. So for store v1, basically for store v1, APG will allow store v1 stores star, okay, which is a valid path in the proxy. APG will allow customer star also and order star also. However, in a reality, these two paths will not exist in APG. I mean the store proxy. So anyways, if someone is trying, even someone is trying this wrong path, Apigee will throw 404, like not Apigee, but yeah, within the proxy, you can manually throw error, and you can throw error that, okay, this path is not valid or whatever, 404 not found. Okay, but Apigee will not block it. Okay. So Apigee will allow stores path this, and for order v2 also Apigee will allow all three paths. Okay, so Apigee will see for each proxy all three path combination Apigee will allow inside that. Then within the proxy, obviously, if it is the wrong path, you will have the error handling code, right? You will have the code which will handle that. Okay, yeah. So that's on the product and the API keys and all.